Hello, this is Ryan, and listen, I get a ton of emails asking me what my video setup looks like. So I figured I'd make a video so that it's available on the internet. If you want to know, that you could look at it. Maybe you're looking to make videos yourself. Maybe you're just curious about how I do stuff. Maybe you have no idea who I am and this video started playing accidentally, in which case you can't leave. The way that YouTube works, if I understand it, if you start a video, you have to watch it to the end, and there's no way around it. You can't, there's nothing. They haven't figured that part out yet. So since everyone watching this video is stuck with me, I'm just gonna go through how I do what I do. It's really not a fancy setup by any means, and it's really not complicated, but I'll just go through what I use, how I use it, and along the way, maybe we'll learn a couple of things about ourselves. So let's start with the basics. This is a green screen, okay? And it is just a basic foldable green screen. This setup is always here because I have a dedicated place in my house where I make these videos. But if you're setting up a thing in your house that you need to take down every time, this is a good option because it just folds up. You throw it in the room where you hide things. Obviously, the purpose of the green screen is that I can remove the background and put anything I want there, whether it's, I could be in the inside of a volcano, some kind of magma pit, or just like a bowl in a mountain full of fire. Those are the three things that you can do with a green screen. And when you have a green screen, you need to light it properly. I'm not really lighting it properly. I have a very basic setup that is not top of the line by any means, but it gets the job done for the videos where I'm not really trying to convince you that I'm somewhere. So the very basics of lighting a green screen is you got to light yourself, and you got to light the screen, and you got to be able to separate yourself from the green. The way you do that is by having a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. Mine are all just kind of the same intensity. It just creates a flat thing that I can use for any situation. Again, I'm not trying to convince anyone that I'm actually in a volcano, which again is the only thing you can use a green screen for. Because my studio setup is permanent, I have a backlight permanently there on the ceiling that is always just set to the level I need to be. What a backlight does is kind of separate you from the background even more. It gives you a little light on the back of your hair, your shoulders, and that just gives you an extra separation that gives you a cleaner cut. If you don't have that, you might see a little bit of blending around the edges. A lot of the automatic green screen things you see on TikTok filters and whatever do that. That happens because people aren't backlighting their in-camera green screen videos where they're pointing at a tweet that they stole. My lights are all fairly inexpensive lights from NEEWER, which I think they make great products. This isn't sponsored or anything. I might put an Amazon affiliate link if I figure out how to do that. I think if you buy anything through that link on Amazon, I'll get a little bit of commission, but this isn't sponsored. These are just cheap lights that do the job. You wouldn't use these on a movie shoot, I imagine, but for the purposes of convincing people I'm in a volcano, these are relatively cheap and they get the job done. And they're super adjustable. You could change, well, that's pretty dusty. You could change the color, the intensity. There's a whole lot of stuff. This light here is a relatively new light of mine that I saw this video by Think Media, and this is what they recommended, and it looked really cool, and it is really cool. I just recreated the exact thing. I'll link to their video because they have some actual advice if you're looking to set up an in-home studio. It's basically a really powerful light inside a hot air balloon that diffuses the light and gives a really nice soft look that I think, lacking in some earlier videos. I'm standing directly in front of this light and it's just a nice soft look. Thank you, hot air balloon, for all your hot air services. I also have these little lights down here that just provide a little bit of extra light to create a uniform green on the green screen. I'm okay. That's basically the lighting and the green screen setup that I use. So now we can talk about cameras. For years and years and years making these videos, I was just using pretty much the cheapest DSLR camera I could find that had a flip screen. Because I make my videos by myself, my one criteria was I need to be able to see myself. I worked that camera so hard for so many years that it eventually started getting these dead pixels. But dead pixels are literally you'll get just a pixel in your video that doesn't work anymore. Whatever you shoot, there'll be a little dot. I don't like dots. So here's what I use now. This is the SONY ZV-1, which is a very basic camera. There's not even an interchangeable lens going on. It's got a flip screen. I can see myself. It is not the most professional camera by any means. If you're really into cameras, you would probably get something much more advanced than this. But again, I'm shooting my videos by myself. So the ideal camera for me is one that I could just turn on and not have to worry about about anything, and that gets good images and focuses well. One of the tripod legs wasn't screwed properly, so this camera's gonna point downwards now. This tripod is a KNF tripod, which it's a good tripod, but the main reason I bought it is because it was tall enough to be at my eye level, which is what I need for the videos that I shoot. You lean back down. What I'm shooting on right now is a recent purchase that is pretty magical. It follows me around as I move, which opens up the door for me creatively for sketches where I'm not on the green screen. With this camera, which is the DJI Pocket Osmo 3 creator combo, I can shoot videos around my house and this friggin' thing follows me around. I can have movement, which is a thing that I've never been able to have. It's a crazy camera, and I think it was less expensive than this thing. It's pretty magical, and it's literally pocket size. If I had to make a recommendation, if you're starting out as a creator, first of all, it'd probably be just start shooting on your phone, because phone cameras are insane now. But if you're looking to get a camera, the DJI Pocket Osmo 3, if I had this camera back when I was in university, I would have died, because this is an alternate timeline. I would have died. With alternate timelines, I don't know, like statistically, do you die in half of them? How does that? I guess if you're an older person, the chances are that you're dead in an alternate timeline are much higher. These are important questions in this video about how I make my green screen videos. So green screen, camera where you can see yourself while you're shooting to make sure you're in frame and that the little red light is flashing. The next part, which unfortunately is a really important part, and I hate it so much, it's audio. And I'm not good at it, and I've never been good at it, and I never will be good at it unless I put in more effort, which I'm not gonna do because I hate it. Unfortunately, they say that audio quality is even more important than video quality, and I tend to agree reluctantly. If you were watching a video with poor video quality, but it sounded great, that would be a lot more tolerable than watching a video with crystal clear quality, but sound that is awful. Or even out of sync a little bit. Audio that's slightly out of sync is the equivalent of having like a single mosquito in the room when you're trying to sleep. It's just... So unfortunately, I hate audio, but I have to do it because I don't want like mosquito business and whatnot. And my workhorse for years and years has been the TASCAM DR05 with a Rode Smart Lav plugged in and then clipped to the inside of my shirt. This is not the best recorder or the best lav in the world, but it's what I always keep coming back to because it's what I've found works for my setup. I've tried other mics. I can't figure out the settings to make them work properly, nor do I have like the time or patience to do all the testing required. So I keep coming back to this, but I hear a lot of good things about this mic that I'm currently using, which is a DJI Pro Mic 2, I think. It came with the DJI Creative combo, but I don't like the sound of it. I don't feel like it's as good as what I get with this thing. There's kind of like a tinniness to it, I find, but if you're looking for a just like turn it on and use it microphone, people seem to like this a lot. And yeah, it has a magnetic clip, which is how it's attached to this karaoke mic of mine. Echo is also a big problem with audio, and it's still, somehow I still have some echo in this room, despite the fact that I installed this wood paneling that is specifically made for audio acoustics. I have a thing on the ceiling up there. I put up rails with sound dampening curtains. I hate audio so much. I don't even know if this sound is going to be okay or usable. I hope it is. Then in terms of actually shooting the videos, a lot of people ask me, do you change costumes in between every line? And no, because I don't hate myself. That would be insane. What I do is I put on the costume of whatever character I'm playing, and then I have the script on my phone, and I just run through every single line in a row. Bing, bang, boom, boom, bing, boom, boom. I literally say a line, look at my phone for the next line, say that line, look at my phone for the next line, say that line, look, and then I cut it all together and edit it. Eye lines are also very important when you're shooting video, because if you want the characters to look like they're looking at each other, they need to be looking at kind of matching spots, and it has to be eye level, which is sometimes if your camera's a little lower, it's gonna feel unnatural, but you have to look at lens height slightly off to the side. Oh, here's a pet peeve of mine from social media video. You'll see a lot of sketches where screen direction is not respected between characters. It's like, it's so, For example, see if you can see what's wrong with this sketch. Hey buddy, I'm a character. Yeah, I'm also a character. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I agree. Wow, it looks like we both agree that we're both characters. Versus, hey buddy, we are characters. That's right, we are. Thank you so much for confirming that. Have a great day. If the characters are looking in the same on-screen direction, it looks like they're not looking at each other when they're talking. Granted, this doesn't happen so much on green screens. It usually happens when someone's shooting a sketch in their apartment. Please don't do that. And so, yeah, it's getting hot in here and I'm getting a little sweaty. So I think that about covers how I shoot my videos. I hope that was interesting. And if there's any interest, maybe I'll make videos like this about how I edit my videos, how I write my videos. And I don't know, the second channel is just for me to post other types of things and try stuff out. This felt like a good video to kick that off. I apologize if the sound wasn't good. I hate audio. Hopefully now you're equipped to go out there and shoot some magma of your own. Whoopsh. That would have been a good place to end it. Should have ended it right on the punch. Whoopsh. That was another good opportunity for me to end the video. That would have, on an impact is the perfect place to cut away from